Hello and welcome to the LTA North here, week 2 of Split 3. I'm Azael, joined today by Kobe for 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. Should be a fun one.
What joke do you think Busio just told Massu? It was cracking him up, it looks like.
Did you see his tweet about the girlfriend day flowers that he got him?
No, what was it?
It was a good tweet. It was a good tweet. You're gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
There's Busio there with some big bouquet of flowers. You know, he said he got from Massu, and then Massu quote tweeted it with like, I don't even know, some poetry thing. He's like, you know, nothing could outshine your beauty and all this type of stuff.
Nice.
It was pretty funny. So the vibes are immaculate in the FlyQuest bot lane. But, you know, I told Busio, you should play Yuumi so he knows it's real, and he said that's too far. So, you know.
That's true. There's some lines that you just don't cross.
They're just not down for it,
and,
you know?
and Yuumi is that line. So nerf that cat again.
So
please,
maybe no Yuumi then for FlyQuest here today, but we'll see. Maybe they can go with the lovers duo after Girlfriend Day. You know, a little Rakan.
Yeah, or you know, there's some of the skins, like there's a Kog'Maw monster and a Lulu monster trainer one where they like go together, and part of the Lulu's fingers in the other one, and Kog'Maw, you can see it in the Lulu one.
Yeah.
And so like my friends queued up with those skins, and then everyone's like, "Oh, cute! Are you on a date?" They could hit that up.
There you go.
And we haven't seen a Kog'Maw in a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so
they got options.
Maybe we could get into it. Let's see about that draft, though. Expect the meta actually to just kind of continue pretty similarly.
Yeah, absolutely. Be interesting to see if we get any Yunara here in the LTA North, as it is now active. It is available, as it has had that kind of 2-week competitive ban after it does get released. So is good to go here. Bans coming through, pretty standard stuff thus far. Varus, Pantheon, Trundle, all going to be banned away. Trundle really has been rising in priority quite a lot, it feels like.
And we do also have Azir up with Talia banned. So they're just going to take the Azir side of that. Thank you very much. So what is the trade on the other side? I mean, there's
maybe
a
like
lot of
Yone or something for quad.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff open, especially for top lane. But Bwipo being on red side, you assume they're gonna just save the red side counter pick for him later. So probably not jump on any of those top lane power picks. As far as like into the Azir, yeah, you can go for the Yone and look for one of the like kill combinations here.
Yone, Sejuani or something.
To put that pressure on him. Exactly. Sejuani always pairs really well, nicely with it. Or you can go with an AP jungler to kind of offset your extra AD over here. Lilia, Nidalee type of things. But I mean, if you're trying to attack the solo laners, a Sejuani plus a like you know, any sort of counter pick for Bwipo up there, it always has so much pressure, so much threat. And trying to put that onto Sniper, where 100 Thieves, you know, obviously they've had some top lane issues, and they brought in Dokla to be the top lane coach, positional coach for Sniper, and put him on some tanks last week. Inspired himself, and some of the other players on Pro's podcast were kind of making fun of his first pro Scion game and some of the Scion picks that he was doing in Scrim. So we'll see what it ends up being as far as the top lane, but that's going to be much later, since they're actually just going to go jungle and support lock-ins here quick. Hey, that's part of a lovers duo. They're
but it's on the other side.
Away.
They're thieves.
Yeah, they're stealing away the possibility of the Rakan from Massu and Busio's love story.
So a lot of engage here drafted up by 100 Thieves. The Rakan plus the Wukong does give them some dive, but Rumble coming through. This is definitely a really powerful first couple picks here for FlyQuest. Double melee on the top side with the Sejuani. You got Rumble, you got Yone. Like, this is super strong, I feel like, as far as the first 3 is concerned. And they really just kind of need some sort of like hard engage support now to pair alongside that. You're thinking like Nautilus, Rel, these types of things. And then pretty much dealer's choice as far as AD carries go. I feel like Ezreal can fit well with this stuff. Senna can fit well with this stuff. You really can go a lot of different routes as far as that's concerned. So FlyQuest feels like they're going to be able to round out their draft pretty easily. Yeah. And just kind of covering that Rumble now with some bans.
I really like the full dive like Kai'Sa look as well, with like a Kai'Sa Nautilus or something. But we'll see. We could get the classic Xayah versus Kai'Sa matchups on the bottom side. It looks like the Not going to soak any of those bans quite yet. Couple of protection bans here for the Rumble. The Aurora, one of them. What other sniper counter picks is Bwipo worried about?
I mean, the classic one that we've seen a lot of is Galio. So, you can see Galio. I know people do like Ornn in this matchup as well, but I think they're just less concerned about him playing the tanks in general, and so they're not going to be banning out the Galio. Is the Ambessa instead, so more of that dive. Another powerful top laner going to be taken off the table, and 100 Thieves are just banning out some of these engaged supports. We had talked about, Nautilus, about Rel. They ban out the Alistar. I kind of feel like support bans in a lot of these cases feel somewhat wasted to me, just because I feel like early on in Fearless, they all kind of do similar things. So they're just going to ban the Alistar, and then they're going to take away the Kai'Sa that you've been talking about for that full dive. So still other options for Massu. Again, sometimes people do like Ezreal with dive, just throw the ult through. It allows you to be able to play safe on your own, and things like Senna can really assist that as well.
Yeah, definitely some good options there. Let's see.
Jhin's another one even. Jhin can assist, obviously, with the ulti pretty easily.
Yeah, staying safe, staying long range. And FlyQuest really have liked a lot of the Jhin combinations, but still going to go with the Neeko down here. Okay, so whatever it is going to be a powerful lane and going to try and put a lot of extra pressure here. Sivir's been gaining a lot of popularity over like the last month, basically, of play. Has gotten pretty good at stabilizing so many lanes and just turning them into farm lanes. But here we go. The Gwen, the other hover here, another one of the very common ones into the Rumble, where people basically just decided, it's fine, like I'll be able to have a fine lane and I'll be able to scale on Gwen. And then, I'll end up with a lot of potential as the game goes on. So 100 Thieves, if they can get there, lots of team fight potential later on for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Gwen, obviously, a great side laner to be able to try to answer against potentially Yone in the side lane later on. Can use the Shroud really well to farm in some of these difficult early matchups too, just kind of farm under tower. The Jhin will be taken away, so potential little grab away there from Massu, so now we have to see exactly where he wants to go. And it's not going to be that, so we'll just kind of find out. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised at all by Senna or Ezreal. Those would be the two that I'd be thinking of. Unara would definitely be cool, but I feel like he's just baiting us.
Yeah, it does feel like that. Maybe they get the speed up for their pretty short range comp here for a lot of the hard engage. That would make sense. They end up going for the safety route instead, but still, it's a brutal poke lane here. So if a lot of these skill shots are landing from FlyQuest side, this should be a lot of harassment down on the bottom side, and that would kind of free up Inspired to go gank for Yone. Yone, we talked about the very beginning of draft, but this champ into Azir, if you get extra jungle pressure, which a Sejuani can definitely leverage over a Wukong early on pre-6, and post 6 also has lots of really good combinations, but pre-6, if you can leverage that advantage over Wukong into the mid lane, that could become a very scary Yone in the hands of Quad.
Yeah, it really could. And I mean, I think the Ezreal works for a lot of reasons. Obviously, can assist with the dive with the ulti, but Busio also just loves roaming. This guy is out on the map so much, so I feel like that is partially why we see FlyQuest tend to go towards some of these kind of like safe picks for Massu, because he's often left on his own. I know at MSI they had the lowest bot lane proximity as far as support and AD staying together. Busio was always out on the map, always helping those other lanes, looking to pair up, with Inspired, or sometimes even one of the things I think he does really, really well is just allowing Inspired to prioritize his farm, and he'll be the one covering lanes to allow them to push out, and kind of filling that jungler's role almost. So we'll see if FlyQuest can continue their winning ways here, or if 100 Thieves can take their first win. Went down 0-2 to Team Liquid last week, which was kind of our expected closest matchup. That was the 4th seed versus the 5th seed. And 100 Thieves definitely going to be wanting to avoid playing another top team like C9, so they've got to be able to at least get one win for that pick and play ceremony.
Yeah, there's so many eyes on 100 Thieves this split because already announced that the organization will be leaving. Massu, though, is going to have to leave the bottom side. He's going to have to go for a recall. He's almost dead already.
Oh my God, that was confident to not barrier. That is actually crazy. I barrier that 10,000 times out of 10,000.
I'm going back to check.
11 health is what I saw.
Okay, I'm clicking on him. Oh my goodness, yeah, that is some close stuff. But you know what? That's confidence
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
You know, confidence.
Respect.
And evaluating level 1 damage.
Yeah, it's either that or you just accepted your fate. But we're going to give him the confidence.
There you go.
He does survive and doesn't even have to use a summoner. I'm kind of curious how that even happened, if he just like wandered in Tribrush or what actually happened at the level 1. I think we're going to get a replay here. Thank you, observers.
So it was a little wander.
This is some criminal behavior. You're just walking in there blind.
Yeah.
He just robbed him and walked away.
At least he kind of hugged the wall, the vision, the shadow on the wall over there. But yeah, he took some punishment, and he started Q too. So
Quid's face there. I mean, they're just laughing. They're like, what is he doing? All right, we have Emily now standing by with 100 Thieves positional coach, Big Dokes.
Thank you very much. I'm here with Dokla. Just what did you think of the level 1 there?
Our scouting was in action. I think we should have taken Scorch there, and it might have been a kill. Yeah.
In looking at this draft for the team, I think it's a lot closer to kind of the skirmish-heavy identity that 100 Thieves has built for themselves. Talk to me about joining up with the team and what you think the team's strengths are.
Well, yeah, this draft plays a lot more how we would like to, in terms of just having Sniper on a comfortable champion. And I forgot your second part of your question, but I'm going to say we won draft.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
We'll toss it back to casters. Thank you so much, Dokla.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dokla. Thank you, Emily. So 100 Thieves has the kind of draft that they want to play with. You know, Sniper on a comfortable pick here, like they said. So we'll see, how he can look this time around. I feel like his Cassante game was pretty solid. The Scion game definitely was getting some criticism, but it was, I think, his first ever Scion game of his pro career.
Yeah, it definitely was, and it also kind of looked like it. Then
Scaling.
On the pros podcast, there were some of the other players that had scrimmed against it as well. We're kind of joking about it. But yeah, we'll see. And Doka's saying, yeah, he feels like they won draft. We'll see if they can get to that point, because FlyQuest, they have so much potential for engage. I feel like Busio on Neeko has been so incredibly good for actually a very long time now for this FlyQuest team. So we'll see. Since their lane on the bottom side will be pushing very heavily, when Busio gets his roam timers, what can he do? Maybe link up with Inspired, go mid, go top, and try and get some action going in their favor that way. But you interviewed Inspired before the game, and he was talking about, actually, he thinks it's pretty much on 100 Thieves because they're the worst team than them to be able to try some crazy stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, it shows it right here, the record. It's hard to debate. You can say it's Flame, you can say it's whatever, but they are 25-6 since losing to 100 Thieves in the Season 1 playoffs. So in Split 1, excuse me. So Split 2 plus Split 3. I think this also, it just shows how good they have been. Really, Split 2 became a two-horse race, pretty quickly. It felt like it was C9 and FlyQuest, head and shoulders above the rest of the league. And we've talked about this, last week. We're going to keep talking about it because there are only 2 spots maximum up for grabs for Worlds for the LTA North this split. And that means you have got to be better than at least one of FlyQuest or C9 if you want a chance to actually go to Worlds. So I think that is what is on all of these teams' minds. You have a clear target of who you're chasing, and you've got to see if you can improve faster than them.
Yep, gotta earn your way there. Meanwhile, Flash is traded here to go for lethal. It does going to mean that he's going to be able to survive, and Quad will be able to get the push out afterwards. But that is step number 1 here, blowing that Azir Flash pre-6. Now they could look for some of these, Sejuani combinations that we were talking about really early on.
So this is something we were talking about before the show. So this is the pro win rate all time for Rumble. So Freak had discovered, or someone discovered, that there was basically this bug where, for whatever reason, on red side, Rumble does just less damage. Like the Flame Spitter does not tick as often. It does significantly less damage than it does on blue side. So this apparently is a bug that has been in the game since the very beginning. So for like 13 years or whatever that Rumble has been in the game, he has just been massively weaker on red side.
Which is crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. And that That is a 14% win rate difference in pro play, red side versus blue side. Even in solo queue, it's like an 8% difference all time, which is absolutely insane. And this is a red side rumble, so I don't know if Bwipo knows about it, but it is significantly weaker on red side. It will be fixed, obviously, I guess, in the next patch. But crazy bug.
Freak did a very in-depth YouTube video. If you want to learn more about it, then you can go check out his YouTube, where he went pretty in-depth and explained all of it as far as that red side rumble. But it is just crazy that over all of the years of
But he noticed.
that we've had rumble, you know, and all the like differences between red side and blue side and things being coded as minions or not, actually turns out was something that drastic.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some gnarly bugs over the years, but this is maybe one of the craziest. Sniper going to be in some trouble here as Inspired flashes in. Sniper getting locked down. Bwipo wanted to hold on to the equalizer, but does have to use it. Red side rumble doesn't even matter. Sniper's going to get knocked down for first blood.
There you go. All right, so Sejuani actually ends up going to the solo lane there instead to try and get the early lead for Bwipo, and it does result in minions dying to the tower afterwards too, so that's a substantial gold lead here for Rumble. Getting the boots plus your early mask here for himself means the reset is going to be very, very nice. Meanwhile, just going to be an easy progression here for Inspired. Very, very decent lead over River, about half a level at the moment. So he's got his early access to his level 6. Of course, River now will tick over level 6 on Wukong and does have a lot of more opportunity. Now that you're level 6 on Wukong with Flash ready, maybe we'll get to see some of those creative River plays. And we actually have a play from last week that we saw from River that was really early on that we can pull up as well, where he just did so many these vision plays. River's really well known for like working around the information that his opponents have available to him. And so we had this one last time where he knows that this ward is here, so he shows, and then he shows himself exiting to that side. And so mid laner is going to assume that he is just continuing his full clear, but he wraps around, he goes for a gank on you. So we'll see now that this Wukong's got some more tools, but Inspired striking first.
Yeah, Inspired is there, and Eyla is in trouble, flashes out and barely survives the final auto attack coming through from Massu. But that gank was just so clever, and it's hard to appreciate without seeing, the full vision. But basically, they knew he was starting on top side. They had tracked the enemy ward on their Raptors, and now we're here over on the Grubs. Inspired will grab that first one.
Yeah, because Inspired got the early presence on this gank, does mean that they've got the extra lead. Now we see Rakan coming from base, still pretty far away, but 100 Thieves still going.
Yeah, Busio could be in some trouble. Pops the heal, is going to use his clone. The last of the Grubs is claimed there by FlyQuest, so they have them all, but Jhin is going to open up over the wall here. Inspired there to block. And Quid not able to find too much. Inspired likely to be able to walk out, but he's going to get shuffled back here by Quid. Quid could be in some trouble himself, as Quad's going to come over the top, trying to finish him off. The Azir in trouble, but there's a great charm peeling from Eyla, does keep him alive, and now Busio's in some trouble as well, as River going to go forward, trying to finish him off. The Deadly Flourish does connect, and River takes the kill. FlyQuest get the Grubs, but 100 Thieves go positive in the fight.
And that right there is something that even FlyQuest players, when we interview them, always talk about. 100 Thieves will still sometimes just fight their way out of some numbers disadvantage areas. So even though their Rakan is coming from base, he is eventually going to be able to arrive here because they make this fight so long. With the Jhin ultimate, they can delay so much. The extra slows here coming from those, giving Quid the opportunity to go in, knock Inspired back. They get that first kill. And then Quad comes in to try and answer, but as you called out, the peel from Eyla, even though he had been forced all the way back to base, he got back in time, and critically, he got his level 6. So he's able to use the ultimate to peel to keep the Azir alive, and 100 Thieves, still able to remain in this game, as it had started to snowball a bit away from them with the first blood going the way for Inspired and Bwipo on the bottom side of the map, and then all of the Grubs kind of being earned by forcing the Rakan back to base. But 100 Thieves say, you know what, we're going to fight it anyway. We've got our Wukong level 6, we have our Azir ready to go for a play, and they got themselves some gold, at least, to be able to fight with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a pretty nice lead for Quid now in the mid lane here. of over 300 gold without even getting a kill because he's up in the farm. You know, he didn't end up going down, grabbed a couple assists. But then you look over at the top lane, Bwipo's up nearly 1,000 gold now.
Oh, yeah.
Off of that kill, and he was just kind of farming it up during that last fight over by the Grubs here as well. So does get paid pretty heavily and is thriving in the 1v2 for now.
Yeah, certainly is. And he's got his Rumble ult ready too, so he can deal with any sort of extra pressure. Even though Wukong's on the bomb side of the map and has fully cleared, Rumble ultimate, you can just delete a wave, buy your team another 30 seconds there quite easily. And so we'll see about that dragon spawn because River, of course, is on the bomb side of the map. Inspired currently is topside, but it doesn't look like he's needed to take this tower. So FlyQuest Duo will just take the tower themselves, and that allows Inspired to cross over, defend Dragon, and go for mid.
Yeah, going to be looking here for Quid, but is able to get the play in the face of Quad and walk out. So nicely done by him. 100 Thieves at the same time, utilizing that bot lane pressure to just start up the Dragon. Massu just now basing from topside, so this Dragon's going to be gone. There's no shot at really contesting it. So Inspired just going to clear out some vision, try to cover for his mid laner to take a plate or two.
Exactly. Let Quad get a little bit of money there. And they do successfully, get the extra pressure out. Now we've got the reset. Once again, Bwipo here up to the top side with all that extra money on. Rumble gets the Faded Ashes as well. Dark Seal in pocket. So he thinks the game is going to go even better for him. I'm a big fan of buying early Dark Seals on most AP champions. Just because the upside has such high potential. And especially if you have an early lead already on a champion like Rumble that wants to get to team fights early on, should be able to tag a lot of people and start to get some stacks going for himself.
And something we hadn't touched on is he is playing Phase Rush, which can help you a lot in the side lane against Sniper here on the Gwen. Obviously, Gwen, the slow on the ultimate is so powerful that if you are overextended, oftentimes Rumble can get just kind of chased down all in. So that is why he is, of course, playing that Phase Rush to be able to take these trades, chunk down Sniper, and just disengage with that Phase Rush when he needs to.
Yeah, and all the first item power spikes, or several of them, are starting to come in here. So Trinity Force for Wukong, definitely a big one. Want to see what 100 Thieves are cooking at the moment, because they're rotating over, but look at all the deep vision for FlyQuest. So all this vision behind should see the rotations over.
Yeah, going to be able to spot them there. Just trying to reclaim some vision. Quad drops a bit of a weird pink outside of the brush there, so he's going to be able to actually spot that ward.
Dude, I'm getting trauma. That
the Massu spot?
The Massu spot, bro. He literally dropped
He's dropping flowers on his grave.
He dropped a signpost on it. What the heck? I'm forever traumatized by that spot. Are we going to see a mid-solo kill now? Just walking up under tower?
No, not again.
Okay.
Not again. Never again, Kobe.
Okay. Sorry, I just had some night terrors popping up. Some day terrors.
You could hear the choppers coming.
Okay, so anyways, nobody actually goes for any fights, though.
Yep.
A lot of wards being expended on the bottom sides, but no fights just quite yet. Everybody, though, well and ready to fight. Now, so much move speed on the Jhins, too, that do like to go for this build with the Ghostblade rush and the boosted swiftness ups. Okay, yeah, actually.
Yep, Inspired. Going to be looking here for Sniper. Sniper flashes up the wall, but there's the flash to follow. Has the skip and slash over the wall. Can he actually get out? Busio in trouble on the bot side. He's going to fall down. There's the Feat of Warfare claimed by 100 Thieves. Sniper should eventually die here. No angle to TP out whatsoever. Is trying to hide, but he is spotted by Inspired, and Inspired will be able to finish off the kill. At the same time now, Quad could be the next target. Trying to delay on the soul inbound. Goes back, flashes back. Great knock up, and he does get one on the River. Nicely played by Quad in the 1v3. Delayed so long and has the outplay with the knockup.
Yeah, and so Bwipo pushes on the bottom side, gets the minions in there. They push in towards the mid lane as well, and this gold lead for FlyQuest is now 1.3K. These extra grubs also going to be very nice for them, already allowing them to cash in on a decent amount of money. And now that Bwipo has an extra kill here, I mean, that gold lead, his individual gold lead is more than the team gold lead overall. Yeah. So it's like wherever Rumble goes, wherever Bwipo goes, is going to be all of this power for FlyQuest. And of course, he's got his little stack there on his Dark Seal, so it is a little bit more.
All right, Quad looking, going in. Eyla in some trouble, gets a big chunk onto Quid as well here. Nicely done by Quad, putting the pressure on them, and they're going to be starting up the Herald. Looks like this will not be contested. FlyQuest, with that chunk, earned themselves this objective. Quid just way too low to be able to walk forward after it, so we'll see where they want to go now with this Herald. Inspired moving in, as Quad has actually pushed River out of his own jungle, so now this 3-man squad from FlyQuest going to start to take away the enemy jungle as well, and River starting to get starved a little bit here as Bwipo going to get TP'd on down on the bottom side. Here comes Quid, but it's going to be a solo bolo, and he's just going to walk it out. Bwipo's up 2 levels now. In comes Eyla, 3 members down here on the bot side. Can Quid get something done? They're going to expend so much to kill off Bwipo here. FBI's ult, Eyla's ult, Sniper's ult, and a TP, and now a dive on the other side. It's River trying to defend in the 1v3, and River has no chance at all. Inspired tanks up the tower, and FlyQuest knocks them down. They're going to take the tier 2, and they didn't even have to use the Herald.
Yeah, with everybody going to the bottom side, that is going to, well, I'm actually not hearing you. We switched headsets, so.
Yeah,
I guess you guys are hearing me.
Pushing through. We can still hear you, so we're all good as far as that goes. If your side tone would be that one. Quid now going to be able to knock down that tier 1, so they do get something back on the other side here, but FlyQuest now up nearly 2,000 gold. Even though the kills are even, FlyQuest is just getting so much more on the map, and Quid could be in some trouble now. Is going to try to slide out here, but Inspired is around. He has the flash, he has the ult, he's going to look. Quid flashes, but he is still tagged by the slow, and it looks like they are going to call things off. Happy with what they have gained. Eyla now behind Bwipo here, the Deadly Flourish there to follow it up, but Bwipo not going to be knocked down that easily. Does still have a pretty significant experience advantage at this point, you know, nearly 13, and Sniper hasn't yet ticked 11.
Yeah, and they should be able to start up and presumably take this dragon, but 100 Thieves are here trying to fight their way out of it. Is Bwipo going to turn around and come back? It doesn't look like it.
Massu shifting back. Eyla trying to put the pressure on him there with FBI. But yeah, like you said, Bwipo has no TP, and he's still just pushing out topside, so they may eventually have to call this off. Eyla going to flash in. They're looking for the engage here on Massu. Massu in a lot of trouble. Flashes out. Does survive with the pair and the flash. They get the TP in now from Sniper. As River's still working on this, Inspired is in the area. They see the dragon. He's going to actually summon up the Herald here. Maybe try to steal this and then jump in the Herald to get away. We'll see if he can pull it off. Quad looking for Quid, and he steals it, and he's going to exit in the Herald. Oh. What a play from Inspired. Drives it right into the tier 1. Insult to injury. Gets the crash. That's our MVP.
He pulls a heist versus 100 Thieves, and Azael, the best part is, he's his own getaway driver. He robs the bank.
Parks the car outside.
He robs the bank, then jumps inside his own car. He left it running there in the middle of the river, and he got 2 charges off too.
That is crazy, man. When I saw him pop that, I was like, no way, no way.
You know he's gonna go for it at that point. I love that these Rift Herald plays have become so popular now. It has really been like a snowball, I feel like. So many, especially junglers, I feel like.
Sick value from it.
It's so good. The fact that you can just jump in it immediately gives you so much safety. You know, people are using it within skirmishes. People Inspired here using it to go for the steal timer. And look at that. He is right in range, and they go with the Massu ultimate into his smite to be able to steal it, and then just jumps right in his getaway car.
That was beautiful from Inspired, man. That is stylish. That's one of the best Herald plays I feel like I've seen.
That was really
the double
good.
charge, using it for a steal when your strongest member on the team, top laner, isn't even there in the 4v5.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, it's a 4v5 objective steal. As well as getting mid towers chunked down there for the secondary one as well. So anyways, now in this world with FlyQuest up 2 dragons to 1, plus, well, wait a second.
Deadly Flourish does connect. Busio should be here to block, and I think Massu going to be fine as a result. Some good damage coming in from FBI, but now Inspired is here. And Quad was moving over, but looks like the fight will dissipate.
Yeah, Massu and Busio both took a decent amount of damage there, even though they don't actually die. So even with Inspired joining, has to be a little bit careful here as they poke around.
Bwipo is here, and he is level 14, but 100 Thieves are going to engage on him. He's 4 levels up on a river. He's just going to turn. He overheats. It flashes over the wall, though, but he's still going to burn down. Quid is in some trouble. You can see the teleport comes in there from Busio as he just goes through the gateway in onto Quid, but Quid getting over the wall. Quad now follows up. Great buffer on the ulti. Jumps right over the Azir ult with the faded seal. The timing was perfect. and FlyQuest get another couple kills just at the cost of Busio.
And that's got to be the Otacon for them as well. This game well and truly snowballed here for FlyQuest. Another extra objective to add a whole bunch of extra experience on top of the leads they already have, and Bwipo being able to finish his Riftmaker here after the fight as well. This is a downward trend that I'm looking at on my screen right now.
Yeah, this is one of the things, you know, when Sniper first came in, I was so happy because he had that killer instinct as a rookie. And yes, there was things he needed to work on in his game, but to be able to come in and lead the league in solo kills and be able to kind of really maintain that aggressive play throughout 2024, it feels like he's kind of lost that this year. And I'm not sure if it is, you know, an overcorrection the other way where they're trying to teach him, you know, how to more read the map and play around enemy pressure and play around the enemy jungle and vision and all these things, and maybe that's making him be a little bit too hesitant, you know, this year. But it is something that I have been noticing, and I want to see Sniper get back to that confident Sniper that first came into the league, you know, where you can play with that aggression and really show off what you can do.
Yeah. All right. Let's take another look at Bwipo, his opponent, who gets so much respect, especially from this team. He's able to just burn down River, and then even though River flashed over, still had the Leandries ticking on him, so they got the big lead here. Same thing happens to Busio, though. He ticks down to the Leandries of Quid, so 100 Thieves getting at least one back for themselves, but of course, you know, the bigger prize is that Otacon, and the value from 30 empowered petals versus the 5 of 100 Thieves, that's got to be like almost over 2,500 gold, plus all this value of the experience that you get. So that reward is so much more than you know, even a trade back kill or anything like that. So they're going to be able to finish off the mid tower, and FlyQuest full control of the map, 40 seconds ahead of that dragon. They can easily reset if they want to, go back and get enough control wards to reset and grab their Dragon Soul point, as well as just take away all your jungle resources away from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, Eyla has the Mikhails. We saw him use it on that Sejuani ult in the last fight, which obviously is quite nice against this type of a comp, but they don't really have the damage, it feels like right now, to actually deal with Inspired and Bwipo. And Bwipo just has such a massive experience advantage. And we saw River engaging on him in that pit, and he's 4 levels down. Like, he just turns on you and kills you straight up. And now he has the Riftmaker completed. He's on those 2 items. 2 items coming through for most, if not all, of those FlyQuest members. Really just Busio not on that 2-item spike at this point. 2 items through for a number of the members on the 100 Thieves side, but a lot of them are those cheaper items. And I do think 100 Thieves really going to struggle to find a good fight here with this massive top lane advantage that Bwipo has. You know, maybe their best chance is just send Sniper out in that side lane, try to draw Bwipo there, as Quid could be in some trouble. Nice snap back with the Soul Unbound from Quad, so he gets the ulti off of Quid and doesn't really have to spend much of anything.
Yeah, Quad still has his ulti, and he's going to fight Eyla.
Yeah, we'll be just going right back towards this dragon. So FlyQuest doing a good job just keeping them from even having a chance to actually steal this away. And again, Bwipo's just up on this top side. They're doing the objective. He's just farming. He's actually doing the Krugs right now. And, you know, he's closing in on level 16. Quad going forward. He's going to look at the 2-man ulti. Oh, my God. Just deleted Eyla there. River is able to limp out, but Quad is just going crazy in the side lane. This guy is completely uncontested right now.
They've dominated Krugs on both sides of the map.
Oh,
and they're gonna dominate more.
Yeah, Sniper might go down. He has to flash back. Quad in some trouble, tries to flash over the wall, doesn't quite get there. Now Quad could be in some trouble, but Inspired is going to come in, and they can actually just take this fight. The Ezreal almost takes out River. He barely survives. Quad is going to be able to actually get out of there after everything. 100 Thieves can get nothing back whatsoever, and Inspired, still feeling confident, just continue walking forward in the face of the 100 Thieves members behind their tier 2.
Ah, dude, they can't get anything. Even with Quad not flashing over the back of the Krug pit, they still can't get him. Inspired on the big old piggy just jumps over, gets right in front of him, and everybody on FlyQuest is safe.
Yep, FlyQuest going to be able to get out. 6K in the lead now. You said it, 31 petals to 5 now, so a couple thousand extra gold worth of stats easily there. Massive experience leads It is now Bwipo over at level 16, Quad over at level 16. It's 14 on the Soul Laners on the other side. Massu could be in some trouble. They're going to flash in on him, but Massu flashes over the wall, and Busio is there with the Pop Blossom for the counter engage. Eyla going to get cooked up here, knocked down by Massu. The second one going to fall as well, and now Quad's going forward in onto Quid, uses the ulti just to close the gap, and then knocks him down with the Soul Unbound and the autos. That is 3 quick kills going the way of FlyQuest, and you can make it 4 because they're going to grab the Baron.
You can definitely give it 4. I mean, FlyQuest, best team in the LTA, it feels like still, and they're going to be able to cruise through this one. You have to imagine, with a 25.5-minute Baron picked up, they're going to make quick work of the rest of this game as well. It just makes it so easy here to be able to go back out onto the map. You have Hex Gates, so Baron-empowered recall into Hex Gates. You're just going to have the fastest reset of all time to go push with this Baron buff, and this is another look at it. You got Massu jumping over the wall, and he tag teams, just subs in Busio there. They got a little from the top rope kind of big dunk from the Neeko. And it's just murder, Azael. It's just all chased down.
Yep.
Like, I mean, they're just running them across the map at this point. FlyQuest here just continuing their dominance.
I mean, they responded so fast that as well. It was instant counter engage and instant double TP. So they're already going there. They know the only way that the 100 Thieves is going to get anything is if they can overload a fight, you know, find a 3v1 or a 5v3 or something like that. And FlyQuest was having none of it. Now both the Soul Laners halfway to 18 at 26 minutes. That is ridiculously fast. And they are pushing for the base already here. River down 5 levels to the enemy Soul Laners. He's going to really struggle to have much of an impact whatsoever. They're going to go for a deep play, though. Sniper TP's in behind him. The Equalizer is going to get dropped onto Quid here. Quid already burning down to half HP. FBI on the run. Sniper is just going to have to get out of there. Tries to use the ulti. The Mikhails is in to try to save him. Is going to be able to walk out, it looks like, for now. But 100 Thieves, tail stuck between their legs. They are incredibly low and going to lose double inhib without much of a fight.
Yeah, you have to believe they're going to lose the whole game at this point. 5 members are alive, though, so they're going for it.
Flashing in, River's looking. Busio here with the counter engage. Massu very low. Massu shut down by River. Sniper in, but he has no ult. Bwipo goes golden, and Quid is just getting roasted. Quid, great timing on the Zonias, though. Can they get something back? Quid survives. Really well played by him, but now in comes Quad. Quad looking for Sniper, looking for a second. He's going to get them both. Eyla and Sniper both fall. Quid and FBI still alive, healing back up in the base as Quad may have to back this one up. FBI looking for the chase. Quad has the Q3 ready, but will not go forward just yet. They're going to wait, bide their time, and probably look for this Dragon Soul. I mean, just look at the wards on the map. The entire map is all FlyQuest. They have got more wards in the enemy jungle than 100 Thieves has in their own.
Here though, 100 Thieves, they actually do at least get themselves a kill onto Massu. They know they just have to full send the dive, and it is a shutdown, so while you are really praying so much for comeback angles, at least they got some sort of a shutdown money. Quad though, he goes back in, and he's gonna be good for 2 more under the Nexus turrets on that Yone. 5, 1, and 2 now. Massive potential here. He also has a QSS. Inspired, though. Give him a little run for his money.
Yeah, FBI giving him some love taps, but
those bars are not moving.
They are not moving.
those millimeter bars on the Sejuani health bar right there, they aren't moving at all.
I'm pretty sure the upgraded tabbies were actually absorbing more damage than the Jhin was dealing. So he procced the steel cap shield. Sejuani no steel cap shield. Put it in chat. Yeah. Time it out.
He's got the upgraded boot shield, and he's got the magic from the Mechanic Rookern as well.
He can't even break it. That is crazy, man. That is pretty tough to deal with. Well, we'll see. FlyQuest pushing in. Sniper already getting chunked out a bit. You can see they're going to drop the Equalizer here once again onto Quid and Eyla. On this side, there's the engage coming through from River. River down incredibly low already. They're trying to dive into the backline, but they're not going to be able to finish anyone off. This time, Massu survives. The shutdowns are coming through. Quad does get traded back. It's all up to Quid. Massu shifting forward. Quid again goes golden. Great timing from him, but it's not going to be enough. FlyQuest going to be able to seal the deal here. They will take game number 1. At the end of the day, 18-8, 13K gold lead, not even 30 minutes on the clock. FlyQuest making it look easy.